So the first thing I want to say is long live neighborhood Nipsey Hussle. I'm not jumping on the bandwagon. I've been listening to Nipsey Hussle since I was 18 years old. You can ask any of the homies. And the significance of this tragic event was he died a day after my birthday. I got wasted on my birthday, 3:30, March 30th. I didn't wake up until literally I woke up. He got sh- if he got shot 3:25 West Coast time, I woke up at 3 o'clock Central time, 2 hours before he actually got shot. By 6 o'clock, no, he got shot 6 or 7 here, and then by 9 something is when I found out that he was actually pronounced dead. I felt so very. I was angry. That was the first. At first, when I saw it, I was like, "Oh, he got shot. All right, rappers get shot." And then 30 minutes later, less than an hour later, dead. Nipsey Hussle was one of the rappers, the biggest influence in my actual hustle when getting out of the homeless shelter. And I know you guys are tired of me talking about the fact that I was homeless and I just got out of jail, but I was listening to Nipsey Hussle every single day since October 17th when I got out of jail, bro. And when I went in that shelter, and I went to the library and I was thinking about all the different rappers I can listen to help me motivate myself. Jeezy, Gucci, different Ti, different rappers. And when I went to Nipsey Hussle, it was just so it was so clean. It was so motivating, but he wasn't talking about selling drugs, trapping and hurting people to escape your situation. Yes, he did talk about those things. He talked about hurting people. He talked about those things, but it wasn't in the context that Gucci and Jeezy and everybody else talks about it. He was actually telling his story. He wasn't glorifying it. Now, yes, he has a song called Strapped. He has songs called Bullets Ain't Got No Names and you know, but songs like Ocean Views, songs like Status Symbols, songs like Blue Laces, songs like Go Long, songs like More or Less. My favorite Nipsey Hussle song, Hustle and Motivate, the one where he sampled Hard Knock Life by Jay-Z. That's actually I'm probably gonna change it, but it was actually my alarm. Let me go to it for you. My screen is cracked as heck. So, but if you want to go on my Instagram and look at it, I don't even need to flex. Every day, I changed it because it would alarm me too much. 5 a.m., 5 a.m., Wednesday and Thursday, every day. It used to be every day, but I had to change it because the instruments are just too intense. But I didn't, it, it hurt me so much and I was angry all today. I couldn't even think. I haven't listened to any music at all but Nipsey Hussle, bro. And then, I mean, the crazy thing about it is, and if you want to watch that last video I did, you can't really hear it as well. But today, what I planned for my birthday was to collect the donations, go to the Dollar Tree, and give out all my donations in the homeless shelter I just came from. Now, the significance of the placement, the location of this homeless shelter is it's in the most dangerous part of this city, that neighborhood. So me making that decision today, even though I knew what just happened to Nipsey Hussle yesterday. Again, I mean, I'm not a gangbanger or anything. I haven't shot anybody in this city. I don't have any ongoing wars or beefs with anybody. So I cannot, I mean, I would be crossing the line for me comparing my actions and what I was doing to Nipsey Hussle in his life. But the fact that people didn't like me because they said I thought I was better than everybody. People were already stealing from me. People were already consciously trying to hurt me when I was at the shelter because I was, number one, I wasn't depressed. Number two, I wasn't socializing with people. Number three, not trying to toot my own horn, but I was dressing fairly nice. I always had a pack of cigarettes. Didn't ask anybody for anything. I gave back while I was in the homeless shelter. I paid for people to stay there while I was still paying for myself, while I was still taking care of my family, while I was still seeing my son every weekend. When I wasn't there, I was at a hotel and they knew these things. Okay. But I still chose today to take the money that I had and donate it. And I still chose to do the same thing pretty much that got Nipsey Hussle killed. I mean, with the exception of the gang banging and possibly, I don't know, this has never been confirmed to me. I don't know what he's done in the streets. I don't know how much of an instrument he was as far as the growth and the promotion of his gang personally. This is all speculation. But what I'm saying is, I was listening to Nipsey Hussle, of course, all freaking day. And then me going there and giving my donations, it felt weird because I knew this is how one of my favorite top 10, somebody I would compare to Tupac, somebody that he would compare to Tupac. He said he was this Tupac. He said he was this generation's Tupac. And I wouldn't even second guess that. I wouldn't even question that at all. So with all this, what do we learn? What I learned was there's gonna be people that are compassionless. There's gonna be people that are gonna take advantage of the situation. If you watch that last video when I was dropping off the donations for the men, now I haven't watched it back, but I will tell you that I bought 3 packs of cigarettes, 60 cigarettes for 22 people. 40 of them were menthol, and 20 of them were non menthol. Now, one of the watchmen was trying to take advantage of the situation and asked me if he could have a pack of cigarettes. And I was thinking, bro, you see that I took the time out my day. You see, I took my money to buy these people these items. Why would you even consider the level of greediness that you function under? If they're gonna smoke, they're gonna smoke. So I mean, it doesn't. And not everybody gets cancer from smoking cigarettes, bro. So whatever. But there's only one Tupac. There's not only one Tupac, bro. There's not only one Tupac. If you were to compare him to anybody else, Tupac would be a fair argument because he did the same thing and he had just as much longevity. Granted, he didn't do the same numbers and he didn't have the same impact musically, but in a social way, he was going to do something that surpassed Tupac's efforts. He wasn't. Yeah, he would. You know what? You're right. He wasn't this generation's Tupac because the amount of respect that I have for Tupac does not measure up to the amount of respect that I have for Nipsey Hussle. So you're right. I'm not saying I don't respect Tupac or his music or anything like that, or I don't even listen to Tupac. I haven't listened to Tupac since I was in middle school. But it just it makes a lot of sense. No, I've been watching I don't even want to watch these videos anymore. People saying that Nipsey went wrong by trying to go back to the hood and trying to help the situation that pretty much his gang created, which I don't have an opinion on that because I don't come from that environment. Obviously, I'm against that because I just did the same thing, although I didn't grow up in the environment that I was giving back to, but that environment gave back to me, so it only felt right. I related to the people that were in that situation, so it only felt right, to place my blessings upon those people. What I'm saying is, don't let your greed get in the way of your compassion. And it's a weird thing. It's kind of like a bitter sweet type of thing. Not as far as his death, but as far as his actions, his intentions. Your intentions have to align with your willingness to be safe. This is pretty much what XXX went through. Except X was just doing his thing and he thought he was going to be safe in a different way. His intention was not to give back at that time, although he was giving back and he has given back and he was doing his thing independently. But not everybody's going to respect your positive energy. Not everybody is going to take into account that you could save their child. Although you might come from a rival gang, a rival neighborhood, what what you're doing could affect your own child by removing this person from the earth. You don't know in a positive way. This guy could have, if you're familiar with Nipsey Hussle's endeavors to empower the inner urban community, that could have affected that guy's kids. He could have just put his own children in a very horrible place because of his own personal vendetta. But we'll never know that. The guy could get caught and have been better off just not doing this shit at all. And 9 times out of 10, it wasn't a teenager who did it. The guy was not 19 and under. This was not a revenge killing for him killing somebody's father. I'm pretty sure. Whoever killed Nipsey Hussle was somebody around his age, probably in his graduating class. Like the dude, Nipsey Hussle was 33 and he died in Aries, sun, which Aries represents the number three, and vice versa, however you want to say it. The person who killed him was at least 28. The person who killed him was at least 5 years younger than him, or 5 years older than him. The person that killed Nipsey Hussle could not have been anybody who was born past 2000, I mean 1993. The youngest that this person could have been was like 25, if that, 24 to like 37, 40. If you're still doing stuff like that, bro, you're stupid. You're an idiot. You're ignorant. If you're still gangbanging on that level, shooting people in broad daylight, not even a real assassination, you, bro, gangbanging is for people that's 13 to 21. You're in your prime gangbang years at 16. By the time you're 18, 19, 20, your gangbang years are pretty much over, bro. Nobody really gangbangs after the age of 23, bro. So for you to be doing that in broad daylight on a celebrity, on somebody that's trying to give back to the hood, you have to be an idiot, bro. You have to be somebody that is moronic. I've never seen personally, I haven't lost. I'm not a gangbanger, so I can't really that can't really translate into the language that I speak. So I can't relate. But I can say if I've just with the level of empathy I have, if you killed like my grandmother, but I see that you're potentially going to help thousands of people and impact potentially millions of lives with this one thing that you're doing, no matter what you do, no matter what you've done, as long as I know that you are reformed, as long as I know, look, you personally aren't going to kill me. I know that a lot of people are alive for that reason because they realize, look, I know the pain that this person has put me through, but he's affecting people in a positive way that are going to affect my loved ones in a positive way. Was Nipsey wrong for going back to the hood? Yes. That was him just hanging out and making himself available and just not being selective as far as his availability and how close somebody could get to him. That was that same ex mentality, thinking that he just had so much love and he was just so protected, and thinking that, or maybe him just getting those threats. I know that tweet was not random. I know he didn't just wake up like, well, let me just tweet about these niggas real quick. I know that didn't happen. Personally, I think somebody called him up or somebody threatened him in his DM and he said, catch me outside. How about that? That's what I that's what I think happened. Either that or he's on the schedule. Because a lot of owners of stores go do their thing at a specific time. Okay, maybe every the last right before the first, or the second, the last Sunday, or this day, this day, this day. I don't think it was random. I think that he was just didn't take something serious, and serious things happened. But I couldn't tell you if it was wrong or right for him to be returning to that location because again, I'm not from the hood, so I don't know. I know that it's tragic. I know that he had children. I know that he had a lot of loved ones who were depending on him, and I know that the marathon continues. I know that. I know that. Double up. RP Nipsey Hussle. Peace.